welcome to today's episode of Candid Kaya. Today, I am here with corporate woman, former Falcons cheerleader, who is, drumroll please, starting her MBA at the #1 business school in America, the Wharton School. Stay tuned to hear Illyria's journey to #1. So hello, Illyria.
Hi, Kaya.
Thank you so much for coming on today's episode. Let's start with letting the viewers know a little bit about yourself.
Great. So I'm 27 years old. I went to Georgia Tech, and I'm originally from Atlanta. And my background is primarily in marketing and real estate development.
Okay, perfect. So, Illyria, let's jump right into it. What excites you the most about business school?
I think the thing that excites me most is probably just the opportunity to network with so many exciting and interesting people. You know, everyone is kind of starting off this journey together, and I'm going to be able to learn so much from them and my professors as well.
Right. Well, that is exciting, especially at Wharton. I bet. Okay, so tell us a little bit about when your journey began and how it has been thus far.
So shortly after I graduated, I started studying for the GMAT and really doing a lot more research on the schools I wanted to go to. Sporadically, for the next few years after that, I joined Pertain and I went to a few admissions events and just kind of kept that interest up, and then I applied in 2015.
So how long of a process was that?
Probably about 3 to 4 years overall.
3 to 4 years. But you got to where you wanted to get to.
Absolutely.
Amen. All right. So during that process, what was your biggest obstacle?
Definitely the GMAT. That was a huge obstacle. I just was really focused on trying to get that score, and I kept studying and I kept working on it. But once I actually started applying, I realized it was a lot more difficult to have a concrete plan and be able to convey that through my statements and my interviews. And so it was really just making sure I had all my ducks in a row.
Okay. All right. So what did you learn about yourself in the process?
I would say I learned not to count myself out. You know, they're looking for people with a lot of different backgrounds and different work experience in different areas. So, you know, not feeling like I had to fit some kind of mold to go to a good school.
Okay, great. So can you tell us a little bit about the overall process from the GMAT to your admittance?
So I took the GMAT a few times.
Okay.
And then I ended up taking the GRE because I was considering other school options in different majors at that time. So I also joined Forte Forum and applied through the consortium. The consortium has a common application, so I really liked that. I could apply to a lot of different schools at once. Then each school that I interviewed with, I interviewed with Yale, Cornell, and Emory, as well as Wharton. And I went to the on-campus interviews. And I really recommend doing that just because it's a good way to get a feel for the people there and for the overall process, and just kind of put yourself in front of them in the best way you can. So I did that, and then about 6 weeks after that, I got admitted.
Okay. So what are your tips to beating the standardized test?
So I would definitely say taking a professional class. They have some discounted services that I know. I took Kaplan, but they do have Manhattan, GMAT is one, Veritas is another. Just trying to take a professional class so that you can have a schedule and kind of a study guide to go off of to relax. You know, a lot of people get really intimidated and they don't perform as well as they should and as well as they could. So also that, making sure you give yourself enough time to study. Don't try and cram it all into 1 month because that kind of backfires if you haven't learned the material very well. And also focusing on strategy. The GMAT especially, you have to focus on how to answer questions rather than just absorbing the information and thinking that you learn more facts than you'll do well. So that would be my advice.
Okay. All right. So you mentioned that you took the GRE as well. So tell us a little bit about why you decided to take that.
So I was interested in other graduate programs as well. And so the GRE was better to kind of make myself more marketable to different schools. But now graduate programs for MBAs are starting to take the GRE. So I would say, looking into the school that you want to go to and seeing if they take the GRE. Some people think that it's easier. Some people like the verbal on one test and don't like the math on another. So it just depends on your preference. That's why I took it. And It worked out pretty well.
All right, clearly. So what are your tips for a standout application?
I would definitely say putting your best foot forward. As I mentioned before, having a plan. They want to know what you've done and what you can do and how the school is going to get you there. So just don't have one application that you think you can just kind of press repeat and send to every school. It kind of has to be tailored to each additional institution because they all offer different things.
Right.
So just putting your best foot forward and doing your research.
Okay. So what are your tips to acing that interview?
So research again because Wharton, for example, they had an interview and it was a group interview. So that was a totally different format from one-on-one or just vibing with somebody. It was a little different. And then they also had a personal interview. So there's a lot going on. But just being personable and being honest. Don't try and make yourself fit into a certain type of person because they'll probably be able to see through that. So just being yourself, be your best self, and making sure you know what to be prepared for.
Okay. So we all know that the MBA can be a pretty extensive yet mentally draining process. Just tell us, how did you stay motivated?
I definitely tried to hold myself accountable for the goals that I set. I knew, okay, I'm going to take the GMAT on this specific day. I went ahead and scheduled it ahead of time, so I didn't have any time to delay. And I just tried to be early about it. And, I knew I had a goal, and I just tried to stick to it.
Okay. So, let's see. You're going to this great institution. What do you think they were looking for, and why do you think that you made the cut?
I think that they were looking for somebody who had a different professional background. Everyone doesn't come from a consulting or investment banking or finance background. They want people who've been in different industries and have had different experiences. So if you're somebody who, maybe you worked abroad or maybe you did something interesting, those things are things that set you apart on your application.
Okay. All right. So I'm curious. How are you going to fund this grand opportunity? And what are some funding options?
Okay, so I have a partial scholarship, and then the rest will be personal funds. Different options for different people. Some people, their company will sponsor them and pay. Some companies have full tuition reimbursement, which is fantastic. So if you work for one of those companies, kudos to you. Also, the consortium is a really great opportunity. They offer fellowships every year. They do partial and also full scholarships. So just looking into different ways that you can get a scholarship if funding is an issue.
So Ilaria, now I want to get just a little bit of your advice. What are some of your best tips to being successful during this journey?
I would definitely say the first one is to stay focused and don't give up. So you set your goal and make sure you stick to it and don't let anything distract you. You're going to have friends, you're going to have a lot of events going on, and you're not going to want to study on the weekends, and you're not going to want to study after work, but you just really have to dig in and do that.
Right.
Aim high. You don't have anything to lose from applying to a school except maybe an application fee. And you never know. You never know what'll happen. Also, I would say to be your best authentic self. So put your best foot forward, but don't change yourself so much that you're not, really being authentic and reflecting who you really are.
Okay, perfect. So my next question just is, what is your best piece of advice for those who aspire to go to these top business schools?
I would say definitely do your research and know the difference between the schools. It's easy to say, I want to go to this number one school because it's number one, but what do you like about it? Is it the culture? Is it the location? Is it the network? You need to kind of know all of what the school has to offer before you can make that decision. And I would say consider the cultural fit of the school. What's best for someone is not necessarily going to be what's best for you. So making sure that you're really going to be happy there because you're going to be there for a few years. So make sure you're investing in the school and also investing in yourself.
So Ilaria, thank you so much for all those great tips. If you guys have any questions or comments for us, just leave them below and we'll make sure that they get answered. I do want to add in one more question though. And my question for you is a finish my sentence. When I'm at Wharton, I want my experience to
challenge me and make me grow as a person.
All right, and I'm sure it's going to do just that. So we wish you the best of luck this fall. We know you're going to do great things. We hope you all enjoy this interview, and good luck on all your future business endeavors. We'll see you all next time.